Afternoon, I am Sergeant Keegan with the Indiana State Police, the Public Information Officer for the Pendleton District. We were all here to find out what happened this morning with an officer-involved shooting that took place in Elwood. We're not going to have any questions at this time. I'm going to present to you the information and the initial findings that we have so far, and then I will introduce Mayor Todd Jones, the Mayor of Elwood here, and also the Chief Deputy Prosecutor, Andrew Hanna, who will have brief statements, and then we'll close the program. So again, this is a sorrowful time for law enforcement and definitely the community of Elwood. It's always a sad moment when an officer sacrifices his life in the duty of service to the community. Our preliminary investigations done by the detectives of the Indiana State Police have determined that approximately around 2 o'clock this morning, an Elwood officer made a traffic stop on a 2012 Buick LaCrosse. During that traffic stop, the driver got out for an unknown reason and fired multiple rounds at the officer, striking him at least once. The suspect has been identified today as Carl Roy Webb Boards II. He's 42 out from Anderson, Indiana. A moment time after that exchange of gunfire, Boards fled in the 2012 Buick LaCrosse. Approximately 30 minutes later, Hamilton County sparked up the pursuit with that vehicle southbound on State Road 37, heading to Interstate 69. Around State Road 37 and 141st Street, Hamilton County deployed a tire deflation device that was successful. However, the vehicle continued south on 37, headed to the interstate. As the vehicle approached or entered I-69, Fishers police officers initiated and got into the pursuit. They attempted the pit maneuver on the vehicle. It was unsuccessful the first time. They then continued and tried it a second time, which was then successful. The vehicle came to rest against the median guardrail and was immobilized, and the suspect gave up without further incidents. Right now we want to convey that there is no public safety issues at this time. The suspect has been apprehended, and he is lodged in Hamilton County Sheriff's Department, the jail there, with no bond. The officer has been identified, the Elwood officer, as Noah Shahnavaz. He is 24. He is a 5-year military veteran and has served this community proudly for 11 months. Again, this is a tragedy for both the family and the community, so I ask that you keep them in your thoughts and prayers. He is survived by a mother, father, and siblings. At this time, I would now introduce Mayor Todd Jones. He has a few words to say.
Finding the right words today has definitely been a challenge. How do you put into words the feelings and emotions that we're all experiencing here today? Noah proudly wore the Elwood Police Department uniform. Serving the citizens of Elwood, he was part of our city family. A senseless act of violence robbed this young man of the life and career that he had ahead of him. On behalf of myself, my family, and a most grateful city, I'm asking you to keep Noah's family, Noah's friends, the Elwood Police Department, and our city in your thoughts and prayers as we attempt to navigate through this tragic time. Thank you.
It's S-H-A-H-N-A-V-A-Z, Shahnavaz. Now I'd like to introduce Chief Deputy Prosecutor Andrew Hanna, who will advise you on some charging information.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Hanna. I'm the Chief Deputy Prosecutor here in Madison County. Behind me also is Rodney Cummings, the elected prosecutor here in Madison County. It's important to remember, even in a time like this, that all suspects are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. On Monday, our office will file formal charges against Mr. Boards, including murder, possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, resisting law enforcement, as well as the use of a firearm enhancement, which carries an additional sentencing penalty, and the habitual offender enhancement based off of his criminal history. After reviewing all of the evidence and discussions with the family and all those involved, we will make a determination as to whether we seek the death penalty in this case.
All right, I'd like to introduce Superintendent Doug Carter for closing remarks.
Just very briefly, first of all, to the Elwood community, I can tell you that any resource that we have as a state police agency, I'm confident that my friend Scott Mellinger will do everything within his power as well to support Elwood PD and all of the Central Indiana agencies that already have stepped up and stepped out. It's also an appropriate time to say to each of you, thank you for being here on a Sunday. It's really, really important. I think as we move through this period of time, telling Noah's story is going to be really important, not just for the community, but for the Elwood PD and for all of our chosen profession. I mean, when is it going to stop? I wish I had the answer. This young man served this country for 5 years and chose to come back and serve a local community. And these senseless acts of violence perpetuate our society, and none of us understand why. But I'm confident here in Madison County that the right things will occur with the system that is built here with Rodney Cummings and the rest of the system here in Madison County. So from a really humble public servant, I say thanks to each of you for being here. I would ask that you give the family some time, and you hear that all the time. I was with his mom and dad and family earlier today, and I cannot imagine what they're feeling. So just ask for a little bit of time, but they will want to tell Noah's story initially, and we will certainly help them do that, and I'm pretty confident that you will too. So thank you all. I appreciate that very, very much. The answer is yes. We'll have an account set up at any Chase bank by noon tomorrow. Obviously, we couldn't set it up today, but after talking with the family, Chase Bank will be the place that will have an account set up for Noah Shahnavaz. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Yes. Yes, what will happen is the local bank will coordinate with the other branches, and they'll know where those dollars should go. We do that so that the family gets every dollar of every contribution, and we will make sure that that happens over time.
Again, this is a ongoing investigation, so any further information that we have will be sent out in our press releases, so watch for those. Again, any kind of charging questions can be directed to the Madison County Prosecutor's Office. So I thank you again for your time. Again, keep the family in your thoughts and prayers, and again, the shakenness of this community just with this event. So thank you.